I'm going to just start by asking how you came to be involved in this project.
Well, I did my previous film was also for Disney, Pirates of the Caribbean, and so we were kind of like in the same room. No, and then I really I found the first film very fascinating, and in the way it grabbed me, you know, on an emotional level. You know, I was very impressed by that, and I think that, and it surprised me, and I think it surprised the audience as well. And I think it was, you know, a great opportunity to further explore the relationship between Maleficent and Aurora, a mother and a daughter. I'm a parent myself, and you know, to see where their journey would go.
So what's it like sort of carrying on a franchise? Is it quite hard to sort of walk into a franchise and kind of stamp your own authority on it and make the movie very much yours, but at the same time sort of stay true to the original and give fans sort of what they want? What's that kind of balance like?
Well, it's a mixed bag in a way. You know, you get the privilege of having something that's worked before, you know, and you can kind of handpick the things that you love and the fans love, you know. And at the same time, as a filmmaker, I want to make something original and new and all of that. So yeah, I take the film to the next level. But no, I find it fascinating. It's a great process, you know.
And how are you now with that sort of fan pressure? Because when you make any film for kind of Disney that's carrying on franchises, what you have is an inbuilt, quite established fan base that often have their own ideas of how they want these movies to be. And you travel around sort of conventions, Comic Cons and things like that with these sort of films. How's that like for you now? Having done Pirates, do you feel like you've kind of learned how to deal with having that kind of pressure?
No, and I really love it. I must say, like having. We had the premiere here in London yesterday, and you know, seeing, you know, 1,000 fans coming out with their horns, and you know, I had the same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's great because I've been in the dark room for a year, so to come out and really show the film feels good.
So I just wondering, because I was a big fan of Kon-Tiki when that came out, and I was wondering about what it requires from you as a director. Are there different sensibilities on set when you're working on a huge budget Disney film like this, and you've got all the tools imaginable, compared to when you're doing a film where it requires being more resourceful, perhaps, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, making any film is complex. You know, it is a complex art form, I would say. You know, it involves, regardless of it being an independent film or a big budget movie, they were always going to revolve around a lot of people. I think you know, as you say, the difference is that I have so much help in every department. You know, on Kon-Tiki, I you know, made a poster myself, and I don't have to do that anymore. You know, there's 1,000 people at Disney making posters, and they do it much better than me.
But can you see yourself still going back and making films in there?
Yeah,
I mean, because now
making independent movies.
Yeah, independent movies.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's all about the story in a way for me, and you know, I've done now 2 big, you know, studio movies, and we'll see what's next. But and that's been a great journey. So
what would you say will you take into that? So let's say, for example, you were going to go and make Kon-Tiki 2, which obviously wouldn't happen. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, a film like that. What have you learned from these big Disney experiences that you think will then translate really well going forward?
Making movies, like it's about experience. You know, every movie is different. So it's not like, oh, now I've done that, now I can do that, just, you know, because I did that. And, you know, it doesn't, in my book at least, it doesn't work quite like that. And I feel like every story is unique, and that's where it starts, you know, and that's the most important thing in what kind of story do you want to tell, in what kind of setting. And I tend to gravitate towards, even with independent movies like Kon-Tiki, I tend to gravitate towards, you know, character-driven movies, but that has a big backdrop somehow.
So what is next for you? I'm sure it probably isn't Kon-Tiki 2.
It's not Kon-Tiki 2. I don't know. No. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!